Hello students, today we are going to revise what we have learned in the last week, right? So first of all, we will study the reaction of metals and non-metals with acids and bases, right? So for this, I will play a video for you. Just try to understand by seeing this video, right?
React with acids and bases. Have you ever seen metallic objects with these beautiful designs on them? How do you think they are made? These designs on metal blocks are created using acids. This process is known as acid etching. Acids react with metals to form these decorative patterns. Metals react with acids to form metal salts and hydrogen gas. Metal plus acid gives metal salt plus hydrogen. Metals such as sodium, magnesium, aluminium, and zinc react with hydrofluoric acid to form a metal chloride and hydrogen gas. Sodium plus hydrochloric acid gives sodium chloride plus hydrogen. Similarly, zinc plus hydrochloric acid gives zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Now let us see the reaction of metals with sulfuric acid. Metals such as copper, magnesium, and zinc react with sulfuric acid to form a metal sulfate and hydrogen gas. Copper plus sulfuric acid gives copper sulfate plus hydrogen. Similarly, zinc plus sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. When metals react with acids, hydrogen gas is evolved. This can be tested by the hydrogen pop test. Now let us see what happens to non-metals. Non-metals do not react with acids. The reaction of metals with bases. Most metals do not react with bases, but some, like zinc and aluminium, react with a base to form a metal salt and hydrogen gas. Metal plus base gives metal salt plus hydrogen. Metals such as zinc react with sodium hydroxide to form sodium zincate and hydrogen gas. Zinc plus sodium hydroxide gives sodium zincate plus hydrogen. The reactions of non-metals with bases are very complex. We will learn about these in higher classes. So let us summarize what we learned. Metals react with acids such as hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid to form a metal chloride or a metal sulfate, and both the reactions release hydrogen gas. Metals react with bases such as sodium hydroxide to form a metal salt and hydrogen gas. Non-metals do not react with acids, and the reactions of non-metals with bases are very complex.
Friends, next we are going to study about corrosion of metals, right? For this, did you know that Statue of Liberty was originally made of copper? It has turned greenish in color now, right? So why do you think that the color of Statue of Liberty turned into green? Have you ever noticed iron objects with this reddish substance on them? Why do you think this happens? Old iron objects develop a reddish coat on them due to the reaction of iron with water and air. This is known as corrosion of or rusting of iron, right? Iron plus water plus oxygen gives us iron oxide, which is known as rust, right? Now corrosion of copper. The copper vessel also reacts with air to form a substance with a greenish tinge on its surface. This is the reason why the Statue of Liberty appears green now, right? Copper reacts with air to form copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. Copper plus oxygen plus carbon dioxide plus water gives us copper carbonate plus copper hydroxide, right? The metal of a car battery reacts with the leaking acid from the battery and damages it, right? Corrosion can cause the wearing away of metals, and if not treated on time, it can cause heavy damage to the objects made of metals. For example, corrosion can damage water pipes, causing water leakage, break the parts of automobile, etc. Right? Corrosion can be prevented if the contact between the metal and oxygen, air, or acid is cut off. Okay, so corrosion can be prevented if the contact between the metal and oxygen, air, or acid is cut off. For this, apply paint or oil to cut off direct exposure of the metal with air. Corrosion can be prevented if the contact between the metal and oxygen, air, or acid is cut off. We can apply paint or oil to cut off the direct exposure of the metal, or coat with another metal like zinc. Okay, so how to prevent corrosion? Corrosion can be prevented if the contact between the metal and the oxygen, air, or acid is cut off. So three things: we can apply paint or oil to cut off direct exposure of the metal. We can coat the metal objects with another metal like zinc, or we can mix a metal with another metal to form an alloy. Students, we will learn about displacement reactions, right? So what is a displacement reaction? A displacement reaction is a chemical reaction in which a more reactive metal displaces less reactive metal or element from its compound, right? A displacement reaction, in a displacement reaction, what happens? Metal 1 plus metal 2 forms metal 2 plus metal 1 salt, right? Meaning is that if we react a metal with another metal salt, what will happen? If the metal 1 is more reactive than metal 2, then what will happen? Metal 1 will replace metal 2 from its salt and make its own salt. Like in this reaction, metal 2 has been displaced by metal 1 and metal 1 salt has been prepared, right? A displacement reaction is a chemical reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. A plus BC. BC is a metal 2 salt and A is metal 1. When they react with each other, what happens? Metal B gets displaced and AC is formed, which is a metal 1 salt, right? Now in a metal displacement reaction, it is kind of a chemical reaction in which more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. like this. You can see metal A plus BC gives us metal B plus AC, which is a metal salt. What do you understand? The more reactive metal A forms the salt solution, and the less reactive metal B coats the surface of the more reactive metal, right? For example, iron plus copper sulfate gives us iron sulfate. Means, what does it mean? It is forming salt of iron sulfate, and copper is displaced by iron, right? Let us see one more example of that. Iron plus copper sulfate gives us iron sulfate plus copper. Fe plus CuSO4 gives us FeSO4 plus Cu. This happens because iron is more reactive than copper. Because of that, iron displaces copper from its salt solution and forms its own salt solution, that is FeSO4, and copper is displaced, right? Again, Fe plus CuSO4 gives us FeSO4 plus Cu. Reaction is twice Fe plus thrice CuSO4 gives us Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus thrice Cu. Iron is more reactive than copper, and thus it displaces copper and forms a salt solution, right? What would happen if we tried the reaction in reverse, placing copper in a solution of iron sulfate? What will happen? Copper plus iron sulfate. Now remember, copper is less reactive from iron, so nothing will happen. Copper cannot displace iron from iron sulfate because iron is more reactive than copper, and copper being the less reactive than iron, it cannot displace iron from iron sulfate solution, right? You can see here copper plus iron sulfate gives us no reaction because copper is less reactive than iron and hence cannot displace iron, so no reaction takes place, right? See one more reaction. Copper plus silver nitrate gives us copper nitrate plus silver, right? Cu plus AgNO3 gives us CuNO3 plus Ag. Copper nitrate is formed and Ag or silver is displaced from its salt solution, which was silver nitrate, right? You can see the reaction here. Cu plus twice AgNO3 gives us CuNO3 whole twice plus twice Ag. Since copper is more reactive than silver, so it displaces copper from its salt solution. Now what happens if the reverse is done? That copper nitrate is reacted with silver. What will happen? Since silver is less reactive than copper nitrate, what will happen? Silver will not be able to displace copper from its nitrate solution and no reaction will happen. Silver will not be able to displace copper from its salt solution, right? No reaction again, okay? So what we have understood till now, when iron reacts with copper sulfate, iron has a deposition of copper metal on its surface, and when copper reacts with silver nitrate, copper has a deposition of silver metal on its surface. Students, different metals participate in reactions at different speeds. Some react quickly while some take longer to react. This tendency of a metal to react with other substances is known as its reactivity, right? Now, if we arrange the metals in the increasing order of reactivity, we get reactivity series of metals. You can see here, this is the reactivity series, right? And what happens, most reactive metal or element is placed at the top, while the least reactive, which reacts very less, is placed at the bottom of the series, right? More reactive metals are at the top in the series. You can see here, potassium, sodium and calcium are most reactive metals, right? Less reactive metals are kept at the bottom in this series, like copper, silver and gold, right? By using this table, we can predict whether a metal will displace another metal or not. Next, we learnt about the reactions of metals with acids and bases, and we also learnt about the reactivity series, right? So try to see this video, try to understand the reaction of metals with acids and bases, and also try to learn the reactivity series. It will help you in higher classes also. Thank you.